What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Daughter of Republican politician exposes what her dad and many other Republicans did when they took a little field trip to Israel to prostrate for the Israelis politicians, the Israeli corporations, and Benjamin Netanyahu, the modern day Hitler. All right, the daughter. Okay, listen. The daughter, all right, the daughter of the Republican politician completely exposed her dad and the rest of them. I told you these kids are built different. I'm telling you, these young children, they're tired of this shit. These young children have no connection, no historical connection or fealty to Israel. That's that old European stuff. All right, because a lot of those Germans and World War II, a lot of those Germans and Jews who had historical issues with each other in Europe, right? Just a form of European tribalism. A lot of them moved to America and they continued their beef with each other, their ethnic beef with each other, not racial, because these Jews are just converts. All right. They're not a race of mysterious. They are homegrown Europeans pretending to be something that they're not. Right. Cultural consistency. And these people are trying to continue their modern day beef with each other in this modern sense. And the thing is, these young white children, they don't subscribe to this shit. America and the new generation, and Europe, by the way, and the new generation have detached themselves from this old world thing. All right. From this point on, there will be no more fealty to Israel. The politicians are not going to get away with their behind closed door fealty to Israel while pretending like they're for the people. You're either going to be a politician for the people or you're not going to be a politician. You're either going to be a politician that has the best interests of America at hand, or you're not going to be a politician at all. No longer will World Salad work, because even their children will bust them out. Even their children will expose them. That should tell you how disgusted they are, even of their own fathers, kowtowing to someone that is clearly not our friend. Israel is clearly not an ally to Americans or America. Israel does not have America's best interest at heart. Israel will allow America to fight on behalf of it. Israel will allow American youth to go to foreign lands and die on behalf of them and their riches and their real estate and their fantasies. Israel, for all intents and purposes, is the E of America. You notice how I had to do that? I know I had to do that one. Because if I would have said the word and put it together, the algorithm created by those Mr. J, would have plucked this video right out. But in fact, they are. They send spies to America. They spy on government officials. They are most definitely the E. All right, finish that word for sure. They are the wolves in sheep clothing. All right, that makes America and Americans have bad reputations globally. Do you realize that America has a bad reputation because of these people? Why do you think we went into Iraq? You think that was our idea, or you think it was the Jews' idea? It was the Jews' idea. Why do you think we went to Kuwait? Why do you think that we go anywhere and do anything in the Middle East? The only reason we do anything in the Middle East at all is because of the J, Mr. J. And because of our actions in the Middle East, killing, by the way, millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of people, casually, because we act like we didn't kill millions upon millions upon millions of people, innocent people, right, to supposedly capture a few what we call terrorists, or what other people will call freedom fighters fighting for the liberation of their countries, but some are not good. I'll keep it real. A lot of those people that we were fighting are also bad. There are bad people fighting bad people. There is a bad side and a bad side. There's really not too many good sides, just by the way, all right? But you got some bad sides that's just too much, all right? Just over the top bad versus like little bad. You understand? There are levels. But yeah, I'm loving this new generation. Now, of course, we got the white side. This is a civil war between white folks. Matter of fact, this is a global war. This is the true World War III. The true World War III is really the European War III happening on the globe. Because every European colony, even their home base of Europe, white folks have divided themselves up into two camps. You got the white folks who are saying, you know what, we're white, we should dominate, we should run everything, we should rule everything, even though it's bad. My religion says it's okay for me to do it, we're gonna do it. We shouldn't, we can do anything to other people, but they shouldn't be able to do anything to us. That's us, you know, that's who we're gonna be. Then you got the other white people say, we are humans, we are one human race, we are one human people, there's a better way to live, we know there's a better way to live. I love my brown people, I love my black people, I love my Indian people. We are one. I don't mind if we mix because we've always mixed. We come from them, they come from us. We're all one. So color is an artificial construct that shouldn't equate in anybody's, you know, thinking or future prospects of how society should be set up, anything like that, right? They are at war with each other right now in Australia, in Europe, in America, in South Africa, in Spain, in South America, in Central America, everywhere where there's white people, where the colonizers who call themselves settlers, right? Because every place outside of Europe, these white people were colonizers. They called themselves settlers. They didn't settle anything. They colonized. They raped, murdered, and pillaged and set up camp while enslaving the indigenous population. Even though they were given the opportunity to stay there in a peaceful way, they just chose violence. Unnecessarily chose violence because their greed and their savage barbarousness would not allow them to just take a piece of the pie. They wanted the whole pie. Then they wanted to rename the pie a cake. So right now, Europeans globally are fighting European War III, but on a global scale against each other. It's a civil war, a European racial civil war. And we don't know who's going to come out on top, you know? And obviously, even the ones that are, you know, humanist, they don't always have our best interests at hand. And as a black people, we just gotta let them hash that shit out, while doing what we gotta do to make sure whoever come out on top, they can't do shit to us because we'll be prepared. But anyway, without further ado, pay attention to this young white woman bust out her father for being a goddamn traitor to America and being a slave to Israel. And you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. Just Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach them. I'm out.
And the daughter of a New Mexico state legislator is accusing her father of putting the priorities of the Israeli government over his constituents. New Mexico State Senator Jay Block was part of a bipartisan delegation of 250 lawmakers who visited Israel earlier this month for the 50 States One Israel conference, in which they were lobbied by the Israeli government for more funding. After the trip, Block declared Israel is not committing a genocide in Gaza and said the Israeli military is doing, quote, everything possible to avoid killing Gazan civilians, unquote. On Tuesday, 28-year-old Maddie Block called out her father in a TikTok video.
Dad, a Republican state senator in New Mexico, just got back from his trip to Israel, which was not like a personal vacation, by the way. It was him and a bunch of his other Republican cronies who got invited to Israel for what I can only assume was just like a propaganda trip. So my dad, a Republican state senator in New Mexico, just got back from his trip to Israel, which was not like a personal vacation, by the way. It was him and a bunch of his other Republican cronies who got invited to Israel for what I can only assume was just like a propaganda trip. So yeah, it looks like my dad and a bunch of other just like loser politicians from New Mexico went to meet with Netanyahu, and I don't know what they could possibly discuss. I mean, again, it's my dad and a bunch of other, like, state senators and state reps, which, like, how does meeting with Netanyahu help the local people of New Mexico? But yeah, I genuinely believe that Israel is, like, paying my dad now to, like, peddle propaganda, because he also posted this, like, super long tweet that's, like, basically dissertation length, that I'm not even gonna, I couldn't even take a screenshot of it and get even half of it. Like, that would take like 4 screenshots to get the entire thing. So if you want to check it out, I guess go to his Twitter profile. But he was basically just peddling all of this Israeli propaganda, saying that the genocide is a lie and that like civilians aren't being killed and the IDF is doing everything they can to like minimize casualties. And I'm like, how much are they paying my dad? You know, like how much is his soul? Because it seems like he has sold his soul to the devil and is now just peddling like lies and propaganda, which, I mean, look, he's a Republican politician. That's kind of like par for the course. But it's just a little odd to me that somebody who is a state senator, again, he's not even a U.S. senator, he's a state senator, got personally invited to Israel and met with Netanyahu. Like, what is going on here?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.